Hello, old souls, fellow empaths, seers, and psychonauts. If you'd like to come on and have a seat for some symbolic support, a little abstract adventure, or inspiration,
Pleasure.
it's a pleasure. My name is Steph. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. On the community page, I posted 3 scrolls, and we're going to scry them today. So we'll scry for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. We'll add on tarot and oracle, and where Mr. Ghosty here
I
is,
see you.
boop boop. We have GhostTube for any audio additions from the afterlife that may further add to our auric adventures. Overall, please do receive release freely. I'm grateful for your time, attention, and awareness as your presence and perspective is powerful. So gratitude for being you. When you're ready, let's go. All right, I'm just going to take a moment to open up. You're welcome to join me or start scrying for yourself. Again, there is a post on the community tab.
There is.
Yes, there is. And you can fast forward if this is boring. Taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support.
Guide.
In the name and honor of fellow old souls, empaths, seers, and psychonauts, thank you for being my muse, and may you meet a message with meaning. All right. Oh, I'm sorry that they're all sideways there. There we go. Okay. Sorry if my lighting is off. Shadows and shines. I'm seeing a parachuter come down. Is that a parachuter? Yeah, it's not a paraglider, it's a parachuter. Like if you were to see somebody, this is the parachute. They're being
She won't leave.
They're being directed by these. They're power animals of some sort. There's hands here as well. This is sepia ink, black in color. I feel as though I'm being ready to receive. Being ready to receive. This parachuter person is really getting my attention. It's like when they land, there's something about tie-dye as well. Tie-dye. Do you see how there's up here? It's as though their chute, this energy's chute, like parachute, is like I'm very gracefully being landed. Very gracefully being landed. I don't know if this is something I'm going to see or if this is what you are doing. Kind of like gracefully landing
Surely.
wherever you may be. Surely you are where you're meant to be, but there's a lot going on over here. There's a conversation with 2. I'm seeing them like right in here. If you can imagine, like, is it like Gandalf's or something like that? Chatting. But they have 2 different positions. It's not because they're in opposition or competition. They're comrades. They're comrades. Something about the spirals of creation.
Sync.
Okay, what is... Something's in here. Something's in here. Something's in there. I don't know what it is yet.
I'm leaving.
I think... All right, thank you for being with us. If I decide to leave and go in there, I think I come out here. But first I have to land. First I have to land somewhere. Am I viewing someone or something? It's a very curious sensation. Something about a strawberry is standing out. They work with strawberry. They're also, I'm kind of getting Morpheus vibes from like the Matrix movie. He just kind of appears.
Again.
And there's a choice. By almost like bionic legs. Like I'm, as somebody who has like from the knee down. It's a prosthetic, but it's like this bionic leg. Okay, I'm going to go through here. They keep inviting me to go through there, but I don't know why I'm so hesitant. I might even be outside of this conversation, like with these Gandalfs, and I'm like debating. These are huge. Like if I was to see a mountain, and the mountain is the mountain, and then I have a conversation with someone or something. Does this energy come down? This parachuter come down?
Shovel.
It's almost like a third. Maybe it's some form of spirit or some spirit
Pisces.
energy expressed. And then I look back at the mountain after this conversation
Knife.
with myself or with somebody else, and now I can see the mountain, the patterning, a patterning. It's like mountain constellations. It's like you don't see the Big Dipper, but when you see the Big Dipper, now you can always see the Big Dipper. And now it's like the mountain surface, it reveals the constellations, and I can see these very large, almost like lemur,
I said
monkey,
no.
something in and along that lines, and they are very, very obvious, and it's like they're big old doors to something, and I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. We're gonna go in together. All right, let's go in. And I'm going to come out here. But it's almost like I'm plopped in there. I think I'm going to walk through, or I'm like linearly. That's how it is. I think it's like, okay, there's the mountain, the constellations, and it's like, but actually I like float down. Okay. And I'm in here now. I can see that Pisces vibe, these golden Pisces. Ink. Oh, why is that so hard to say? Inkwell, or dipping like the. I know the lighting's off a little bit here. This is almost
Institution.
like an ink, and this is the ink. Nib. Nib? Nib. You know when you say a word too much and now it's like it's weird. I'm dipping it in. But it's in the head of something. Okay.
Cool.
It's like sacred lava almost. Or maybe it's like bloodline stuff. Can we go into the shaman's palm? Maybe it's like sacred bloodline. It's like I'm writing this a story or scene. A scene. A scene? A scenes? A scene. So I want to say like
Disgusting.
a scene. You're disgusting. A scene from like a show or a movie or a story. Like you're seeing or writing the scene. Like co-authoring or authoring, just pure authoring. And then there's like a scene. So I don't know much about that. Like a scene or a scene. Oh, I wrote essence. I don't even know if a scene. Maybe it's just a scene. Interesting. Gold, 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 gold. But the gold comes from something emotional. It's in the energy body. It's releasing a conflict. It's like these two Gandalfs that I'd said from the beginning. They're not actually in competition or anything like that. I think this is within myself. Do you know what this makes me feel like? Old souls, it's like being aware of the many layers of existence happening simultaneously. Let's just say for simplest form, it's earthly, emotional, energetically, right? Being tip of the iceberg, body, soul, spirit. And to have that awareness, but it seems to be specifically from like this empathic space, seer seeker space, and psychonaut space being very existence explorer. And when you're aware of all
Have
these
we
things
met?
happening all at once, it's like which okay, Quentin Tarantino's coming through directing which story, like there's like those movies where there's a few stories going on and it's like when to go to the next one for a little bit and then draw some mystery for the other one. Like, oh, I'm sorry,
Undecided.
switching scenes. But there's something about a bloodline I don't exactly know. So if you know what the whole a scene thing is, but they're all happening at the same time. So it's like switching when to direct those parts of the movie or the book of life to give it its chance to be the front runner. And then somehow
God.
they all come together. Like any good movie, they all come together. Yes, God. Okay. Oh my goodness. Heavens and hot dogs. I'm all over the place here. So it's like there's no conflict between these, the main story and what are they, sub stories maybe? They're not sub, but okay. Shaman of Sorrows is coming through as well. Some form of medicine has been taken. Hunter of oh my, for heavens and hot dogs. I feel like it's skewed in my, and like even it's aligned for me, but yet things are skewed. Isn't that really interesting, old souls? Have you been finding that? Like things look straight to me. Obviously, somewhere my camera angle's off. But when I view it, I'm like, oh, it's askewed. Askew in the scenes. Maybe you're noticing something about that. There could be also from a collective space a noticing of any sort of conflict in the collective and the sorrow that might be felt, or that's the scene, right? Sometimes there's a sad scene, but it's a kicking off point. One of a kicking off point to come into this path, to choose a path and paths. There's like a little Yoda guy in here, I always call him, with a big old stick, which is bringing me back over here to these Gandalf-y guys. So when I wandered through here and I came out here, and it's like I was dipped in this. I want to say the true path. I have no idea what that means because I, Steph, don't know that I would use that term because I feel like it would be stifling from a human perspective. Okay, so I'm going to work around that for a moment. A path is revealed that connects all the different selves, And so, like all of the strands in the bloodline or DNA, when they write, they are together. And this creates a path that you can see now. I can see the path, even though it's almost by seeing this path appear, because I'm writing it, the path itself, the direction of it, everything else disappears. And that's kind of what lets me know, in a weird way, that I'm on this true path. That may change.
Come over here.
I think it's a sensation I'm being asked to speak of when I say true path versus hold it to surface linguistic aura of defining it. So I'm just going to release that, if it makes sense to you. But that it's definitely a curious feeling. There's a happiness happening over here, and they're more than happy to continue sharing.
I'm confused.
Yeah, well, we're confused a lot here, and that's the grandness of it, of communicating with consciousness. See, because it's like, even from the human and the higher self, I'm like, maybe it feels like a battle sometimes. And it can make you sad, or you go through things. But it's almost like every good movie, and I'm not saying that's how it has to be. I think to some degree or another, it's a popular way. Like, was it like they say in like books, or even the tarot with the hero's journey in movies, there's plot lines that are popular and they have a point, but then every so often there's someone or something, a director or a person that makes movies, and they apply that, they take that, but they express it differently. And I feel like that's what you're doing, and that's what makes it true and blue to them, to you. It's not because there's not, the pattern's problematic. The pattern isn't problematic. It's expressing it, or trying to fit an expression that is blatantly multi-dimensional into a singular dimension. Okay, I'll add on a few cards here, and then we'll flip it. If you are part of the Secreteur Society, I will see you for the flip side. Lies. It's truly not a lie. We have here honesty, recuperation, and conflict again. It's fascinating. Okay, we'll use this as a bridge. Look at that.
Not feeling well.
A lot of protection over here in this power pentagram. It's like all of these colors. There's peace in there. It's almost like being honest of what I need to let go of. I want to come back into that parachuter. It's almost like this parachuter is this angel. How are things askew and not askew all at the same time? Oh, it's a very curious. Maybe that's the conflict I'm trying to like. But there's this thing where I'm like, I feel like I'm watching a movie. And I'm like, this is so strange, but I gotta watch because it's new but not new, but it's a new way of expressing the same pattern. Okay, I'm gonna head over to the extended. If you are joining me for the other side scry, I will see you there, and if not, that's wonderful. I'm so grateful for your time, attention, and awareness. I will see you soon. So much love. Bye.
How do you feel?
Drugs. That's how I feel. A little bit of tie-dye Woodstock action going on.